my mom always told me to do. My wife too. Said if you ain't got nothing to say, don't say shit. So I'm gonna just sit here, not say shit. I ain't got nothing nice to say. Man. You ever just, I'm gonna say a little something, you already know. You ever just see a group of humans doing some shit? From the outside looking in, you're like, why the fuck? Why the fuck would anyone want to do that? That's one thing. You ever seen a group of humans doing some shit and wished you were a dog? Hey, Miss Coffee. Man, I wish I was a dog. I wish I was a butterfly. I wish I was a ladybug. I wish I was a sparrow. I wish I was a chipmunk. Anything other than being genetically related and being upright and bipedal. I want nothing to do with any of these people, man. I want nothing to do with them. You know, I don't know. It's a hard situation because you know what, I bet I got a beep in here and everybody's gonna say, you got a beep on your phone. Hold up, man. Hold up, Mike. There we go. It's a tough situation because, you know, out there in Hawkins County, you know, these folks were not social media giants. This is, I guess, a talk about why social media is so dangerous. I had a visit today, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'll just tell you I had a visit today from them folks. Let me tell you this, and understand it when I tell you that the level that this thing has gotten to is absolutely putrid. It's filthy. There's just no way. You ever seen a third group of humans doing some shit that you know they can never come back from? Hey, Lulu, you watch a bunch of humans do shit that you know they can never come back from. And I don't even know anymore. Right? But let me get back to the social media and why it's so dangerous. Oh, am I? Cool. I think there was some changes. Right? The people came, man, they came. But anyways, so you got Don, and you got Candy, and you got all these other people who've never been popular online, right? That's the issue here, is it's the magnetic draw, whether it be negative or positive, it's a draw that comes from the social media, right? Now, I don't know whether or not Don and Candace know that what they're doing is actually feeding into the inferno that's now nipping at the heels of what remains of their family. I don't know if they know that or not. If they do, then I would have to ask the question to them, like, man, are you in love with this shit? Are you in love with this shit? Because let me tell you what, in America, when your child goes missing, it doesn't matter how you behave. Doesn't matter. John Kelly, he about, I don't know, this last week, 3, 4, 5 days ago, he released a video, and he did a profile on, you know, that situation. And the thing that he stressed on was that do not judge the wells based upon how you think they look to your eyes. Yeah, AB's a joke. Don't do that, right? Now, what's happening is that if you go to if you go to Donald's, and I will say this, Don, man, whatever you got going on over there with the social media is not helpful. Not what it's turned into, buddy. You've got a real melting pot of hate going on in your Facebook commentary right now. You know what, Lizzie? This is the deal. I would bet the ranch on the fact that they'll never know the answer to whether or not she was dead or alive. That's really, I mean, at this stage, it's inconsequential. Consequential. That was important in the beginning, right? But now it's like, this is so butchered. You know, I don't know how people fix their fingers in their mouth to call the police and say some wild shit 870 times in a row, and there was not one that was accidentally right. Let me say this. If you've got channels and platforms online that are contributing to the cesspool that's going on in Hawkins County, what the fuck are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Right? You know, it's impossible. You know what? It's impossible to expect empathy. Empathy leaves as soon as you start a YouTube channel. Let me tell you that. For the most part, empathy leaves because people are completely unempathetic when it comes to people's situation online. Now, to get back to the social media, Don and Candace, they went from you know, probably never breaking 10 likes on a post before. Now, whatever they say, it's getting the worldwide attraction, and that is something that I don't have. I know what it's like for you know, the pull from my channel, right? I have the same feeling, right? When you have a lot of, you know, bells, whistles, and all the stuff going off, and little flags and numbers and comments, and it's like, it's stimulating. I get it. But what Don and them never, you know, us that follow the true crime, and moreover, the children's sector of that, we know what the families are going to go through before they go through it. We know right now, let's predict the future. We know right now, in the next 6 months, let's just push it that far out, in the next 6 months, another kid is going to go missing, and another family is going to be blamed. That's for sure. We know that for certain, 100%, right? What else do we know? We also know who's going to be in the forefront of making sure that these families stay down in the dumps, right? So, 870 times, no one was even accidentally right. Now, I see a trend with these YouTubers, right? These YouTubers, every single thing that they get involved in, you want to know what happens? The actual family says, this is enough. This is enough. Right? This is enough. We all know about the Shanann Watts situation with Frankie and that family. Sure. Okay, so that's called ad hominem. Ad hominem is when Benny makes a great point and you're like, oh, Benny, you're ugly. Or Benny makes a great point and you're like, oh, Benny, your ears are big. Or you're like, you know, Benny, you're stupid. Right? That's called ad hominem. Ad hominem means you're attacking someone's character instead of the position they maintain. You can't do nothing with an idiot like that. That's a fucking snake eating its own tail. You don't even need toilet paper for that, because at the end it wipes its own ass and then, you know, disintegrates into ash. So, but yeah, you know, the social media, it doesn't matter what happens. Now, I think that, you know, I want to err on the side of comedic relief, but I today people were posting things that Candace allegedly was posting, right? A couple of bigger, heavier set folks on top of each other in a bed, and just some weird stuff. If you're looking for that family, everything they do to be weird, right? So I think she's just having fun with you, right? She's not they're not criminally sophisticated in a way that they're going to be able to do all they've done beating the technology, and she goes in and she beats a polygraph machine. Now that's via her own account. There has been no law enforcement account that backs that, but it stands to reason that she's saying she passed the polygraph. There hasn't been any shift in the focus towards them in a way that we would know about it. So it stands to reason that she did not beat the box, but pass the test. There's two ways that you come up clean on a polygraph in America. One is the naysayers will say you beat the machine or you beat the box. That's when you're actually guilty but trick the machine, beat the box, right? Or you pass the test, and there you go. So as far as YouTube is concerned, this is the funny thing, and I'm at the house now, so this is the funny thing about the YouTube, and I'm going to close with this, guys. And it's not even funny, it's shameful, right? So, these YouTubers have jumped on, let me tell you, there's a gentleman that's in the forefront right now, and I've followed 3 cases that he's followed, and let me tell you what, he has absolutely just helped evaporate these cases. The last case that we were on, he was actually exposed by the news for his part in bullying someone that was not involved. This is a trend, and I'll be honest with you guys. I started a Facebook channel. It's called Stop Victim Blaming. If you're not a part of that, please think about going on over there and joining. It's NBA, it's big leagues, no bullshit allowed. We just want to focus on disseminating information to people. You want to know how many minds I've changed this week in regards to how they thought and felt about how they felt, Monday. They thought this and that and were commenting this and that about Don and Candace. And now here it is Friday, and they've joined a Stop Victim Blaming Facebook page, and they've come around, right? They've done a 180. So that's a beautiful thing, right? Not just one this week. In the range of 80 or 90 interactions I've had. That's just a ballpark. 80 or 90 interactions I've had this week about people who have changed their positioning. And let me tell you what, I love all of you guys. Now, there's this, there's this desensitization. There you go. When you spend very much time on YouTube. And I'll say this for the most part, that the people on Facebook are very receiving to this message. And so if you're not a part of what I'm trying to put together on Facebook, please go ahead and jump on over there, because I'm going to go with the path of most resistance, and with that means that I'm going to be using the YouTube essentially for what I had designed my channel to do in the beginning, and that was to maintain a position and to not falter or alter from that positioning. And the issue when I started was that I didn't want to deal with Facebook because I had this assumption already built that what I was dealing with on the Facebook or on the YouTube was going to be reminiscent of what I was going to deal with on the Facebook, because until this week, it's been 3 years since I've dealt with anything on Facebook. So there's been a lot of adjusting to how it works in the mindset. But for the most part, if someone has on Facebook, you can agree to disagree on Facebook. And you don't have to worry about CPS coming to your house. On YouTube, however, it's as soon as you enter the portal of YouTube, it is an ego magnifier, and it plays on me that way too, and I know that, so I don't get caught up in what people say to me anymore, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of the interaction part, the interacting. I want to do that on the Facebook because I just feel like it's integrating the best of both worlds. Well, you know what? I mean, Lizzie, at this point, the only safe bet to be a decent human being is to follow this like law enforcement is with that positioning. So, if you're wrong at the end of this, well, then you're wrong on the same side as law enforcement and as technology, right? If a scanner or a helicopter or an FBI agent was tricked, that's pretty good company to be tricked with, right? I'd rather be tricked on the side of that. So I could never be wrong in that respect, but it's not about being wrong, right? The way that I'm thinking is the exact template. You will never see a policeman walk up and start victimizing verbally, and it's went to real life for Don and Candace, but for a policeman to walk up in their time of need and say, "Oh, you look like you're on benzos, and you got caught with a gun when you weren't supposed to have it, and you had this and you had that." Well, guess what? Even if it was 24 seconds before little Summer went missing, you know what? There's nothing Don or Candace could do that would warrant someone taking that child away from them. I don't care if they never paid a fucking dime in taxes. They rip off everybody that they know. They front dope from every dope dealer. I don't know what the fuck they do. But all of that, you could sell your soul to the devil, and that doesn't give someone the right to take your child. And that doesn't give someone else the right to blame you. Yes, they're being now let me tell you this in closing. Now, I've heard and read a lot of shit with my own eyes. Oh, Don and Candace are dumbasses. They're retarded. They're this or that. Well, guess what? Right now, today, they're innocent. So you know how dumb you look doing what you do online against people that the police are not arresting today. You know how fucking stupid you look? Bam, just like that. Now guess what? The way that there's a split in this community, it makes my work simple. And let me tell you why. No, you're right. I'm sorry for that. Let me tell you why it makes my work so easy. And this is the reason. Because I don't have to work through and navigate all the people that cloak themselves like they're good people and actually they're bad. Because on YouTube, there is no wolf in sheep clothing. If you're a wolf, you're just a wolf. You could never get these people to have couth. You could never get these people to even try to run game. You could never get these people to act like, at the very least, act like they're not going to victim bash. See, let me tell you, if you acted real nice and you had a big platform, you could just pull a seat right up next to Dan and Don and Candace, right? And then you could start doing what the news does with them and get the information firsthand, and you don't have to spin a web to try to catch some shit. It'll be told to you from the horse's mouth. But no, because your ego is intact fully, it makes you feel better to attack these people and spin whatever your fantastical mind can make up today. You're like a kid waiting for the toy in a Happy Meal. And then there's that look of when you die inside because you're a little boy and they gave you a girl toy, or because they just didn't give you a toy, or because you already got that toy last week. Those are the kind of letdowns that children have. And that's what we're looking at right here, right? There is no reason for that. You're right, Falling. It's all about the money. Guess what? You do all this slanderous shit to get all these fucking pay pools, these cash apps, these super chats, and you know what they do with it? They gotta slander and beat up the fucking Wells family, and the fucking West family, and the Gernon family, and the Sherrod family. And you know what they do with that money? They buy their Xanaxes, and they buy their booze, and they buy their machines to grow their pot. That's what they do with the money they make from the suffering off of people off of YouTube. That's what they do. They're not staffing an organization to help kids. They are one-man bands that band together with other fuckheads to try to swindle old people alike, young people alike, out of their money. There's people on these fucking platforms donating money that are picking between getting their gout medicine or thinking that this money's going to pay for some soil samples, or this money's going to pay for a Cash Gernon funeral. Man, y'all people ain't shit. No, Dina, you want to know why they do so much picking? Is because when you look at their life, it is actually a toilet bowl. Look at them, all of them. Fuck, one guy, you don't even know what he looks like. Because it's real fucking easy in the house of the devil to throw a stone and hide your hand. Fuck you mean.